we would argue very strongly that's actually the wrong way of looking at it. We think that social media is actually brilliant for fundraising, but it's brilliant for fundraising in a variety of different ways. You can't just think, well, I'm going to go on social and I'm going to ask all of my followers, all of my subscribers, all of my friends to give me a whole bunch of money. Because actually, if you just do that, and many organizations have done that, and what happens is they don't meet their target or they don't raise a lot of money, and they think, oh, well, again, social media is a dead end for fundraising. I think what you need to start thinking about, this is something that we argue very strongly in the guide and something that we talk to all of our clients about, is that social media and social media platforms specifically are a set of tools. And like all tools, you need to know how and when to use them in order for them to be most effective. So tonight, we're going to hear from some amazing, amazing organizations and some great people who have made social media work for them, right? And work for them from a fundraising perspective. We're going to hear how you can use social media to identify new supporters, how you use social media to cultivate those supporters, how you use social media to solicit, and how to use social media to acknowledge, right? So you have to look at social media as a set of tools that can facilitate the entire process, not just the platform by which you ask your friends, your followers, your subscribers to give you money on. You have to kind of move away from that. Again, it's just a set of tools, and you have to know how and when to use them in order for them to be most effective. So, without further ado, let's go. I think I've assigned everybody a color. Yes. Come on, speakers, let's get up here. It should be like a game show, I feel like. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You're yellow.
Best test.
Okay. Well, we can't fall asleep sitting at these. All right. Here you go. All right. So this is the way it's going to work. Each person's going to introduce themselves and their organization for about 1 or 2 minutes. Then I'm going to ask a couple of questions of them, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. I think the best part of these kinds of events is really audience participation. So when we turn it over to you, please ask questions. Again, you have some amazing organizations that have kind of cracked fundraising on social. So,
thank you.
Who are you and what do you do?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Paul Wilson, and I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Grantham. And I joined Rotary in 2011, looking to make a difference in my local community. But I never realised it was actually going to change my world. The chap sitting over there at the back with the camera, Roger Graves, was a chair of a local swim event in our community. He's been running 25 years, raised so much money, 1,500 school children take part, real great participation. And he had the great idea of 2012 Olympics year. Let's take it around the world to all the other Rotary clubs, let's do a world record. And he didn't know how. So I said, well, I've done a bit of social media, I'm an IT consultant, I'll have a go. So I did it while I was working away, actually, quite a lot in that first year. And funny enough, everybody eventually, through Facebook, Twitter, and various things, lots of stories in the book, got behind it. We broke the world record. We, much more importantly, raised over $100,000 in that 1 hour of the simultaneous event. And it's grown and grown and grown, and there's lots of sister events I'd love to tell you about, but it's just been an amazing experience, and I'm now a full-time social media consultant for small businesses and non-profits, so changed my world.
So, quick question. How much money have you raised so far? Because that's really impressive.
As of yesterday, yeah, the current amount is somewhere in the region of £400,000, $600,000. And there are sister events which are involved in a meal for End Polio, which is a charity. They've recently gone past the £1.5 million mark. So it's certainly led on to other things.
Amazing, amazing. Lucy.
Hello, I'm Lucy Buck. I am the founder, CEO of Child's Eye Foundation. We are a small charity, and I spend my life between here and Uganda. And ultimately, the idea for Child's Eye is that we want to get every child out of an orphanage into a home in Uganda, and then maybe the rest of the world. And we've been using social media since day one, and been telling our story and sharing our story with our supporters. Yeah, it's just it's like a soap opera. It's ridiculous. I would never ever expect where we started on day one to where we are now, and I think a lot of the supporters who've been with us on the journey would agree as well. But we've shared it, warts and all, and here today to tell you a bit more about storytelling.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Maria Caudwell, and I'm here from Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, the only Irish charity in the guide. And I guess for us, I mean, it's a little bit different, I suppose, maybe not so different to the Rotary, but our organisation is over 50 years old. And so with that kind of comes a legacy of people, I suppose, who've been with the organisation for a long time. They have done things in kind of an older, more kind of traditional way. So social media and the way that we're using it is really quite new. In the last couple of years, though, we've really been very active on social media, and it started 2 years ago, really by getting people who were in our community, people who had cystic fibrosis, to share their stories, their experiences, and then from that we kind of really built, if you like, our number of likes, and it meant then that we really had a much larger network of people that as fundraisers or advocates or whatever that we can kind of go out and reach. So I suppose we just sort of have piggybacked on that to kind of help us raise more awareness, and it's very much like what Carlos said. I mean, we understand that it's not just saying we're having this appeal and give us money, and that you can directly, you know, link that dollar that you make or that euro that you make back to us on fundraising. It's much more about telling people who we are and them knowing more about us so that they can eventually join us either as a supporter or a volunteer. So thanks.
My name is Jonathan Waddingham. I'm a social product manager here at JustGiving, and my job is to make the site really easy to share what you're doing on JustGiving to your friends, be they on Facebook or Twitter or whatever network you're using, and basically to help people raise as much money as they possibly can with social media. So we at JustGiving, we've been around a long time in internet years, not 50 years as an organisation, but you know, getting on to 14 years, which in internet terms is pretty much 50 years. And the biggest change we've seen in the way people have used the site to raise money is social, and the advent of social. And if you've been to JustGiving recently, you'll have noticed the site's very different, and it's based around your social networks, your social connections. And we've evolved to become this social platform for giving. So you can't really be a social platform for giving if you don't have social at your core. And so we work really closely with Facebook and other social networks to make it a seamless way to raise as much money as you can for your own personal things and help charities raise as much as they can as well. As you can see from the numbers we've had in the book, you know, in the 12-month period that we quoted, over $100 million was raised on JustGiving via Facebook. So it's having a really big impact on the amount of money people are raising.
So let me just ask you something really quickly on that point. You say $100 million on Facebook. Break that down for us. What does that actually mean?
Well, that's coming from many. I mean, I think almost 3 million people on JustGiving sharing the things they're doing, sharing that they've donated, sharing that they're raising money, sharing that they've updated their friends with their fundraising. All of these things are kind of things that are actions that we encourage people to share. And then there's all the people who are actively raising money themselves and just posting links to their JustGiving page on Facebook and driving people to make donations.
So it's because, in many respects, kind of the integration, and it's because of Facebook that you were able to kind of raise directly that $100 million.
Yeah, I mean, we can directly attribute kind of almost a third of that to what we've done on the site to make it really easy to share, make it a kind of core part of your experience is sharing.
Excellent. Okay, so the formal questioning will now begin.